Right guys, welcome to this Warhammer 40,000 battle report. This is today's table. I'm facing off against George, and George has brought Dark Eldar against me today. I wasn't expecting them, so I didn't have too many flamers in my army. And yeah, we've got the 6 objectives. Number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5 and 6. And as you can see, this is the deployment line, not that dice. Going there. So it's going to be yeah, end to end. We'll come back once we take you through the armies we have rolled, and it is tactical escalation, so we get 1 objective at the beginning of turn 1, which works out handy for reserves. So yes, we'll now move on to the armies. Right, so this is the Blood Angel force today. The Warlord is the Librarian Dreadnought with a melter gun. Level 2, he has rolled on the Sanguinary Discipline. He has the Shield of Sanguinius, which is a 5-up in run, and he has Blood Lance. He's rolled on the Warlord traits, and I did re-roll it, and I scored the one where if I hold an objective with the Warlord, I get an additional victory point. He's going to be riding in the drop pod. For the troops choice, we have 2 5-man scout squads. These are equipped with snipers, not camo cloaks. Over here we've got 5 with combat weapons. The sergeant has a bolt gun there, but he's going to be proxied, so he does have close combat weapons as well. For fast attack, we have 2 5-man assault squads, 2 melters in each, and the sergeant does not have a power weapon. They will be arriving in their free drop pods. I had a few points left over after the rest of the force as well, so I took an attack bike with a multi-melter because I had 55 points and I didn't know what to do with it. We then have the, I don't remember the name of this formation, I believe it's the Intervention Strike Force, I think. So it's 3 tactical squads and 3 Storm Ravens. Each tactical squad has a single melter in them. The sergeants do not have power weapons. The Storm Raven here has las cannon and multi-melter. This one has assault cannon and multi-melter. This one has assault cannon and heavy bolters. I then also have the strike, I think this is the Redemption Force. Again, I don't remember the names. 2 5-man assault squads, melter in each, and these are being proxied as my Vanguard vets. As I don't have them magnetised as of yet. The chaplain is just going to serve to be the sergeant. They're all equipped with power weapons. The sergeant has a relic blade. Right, so this is George's Dark Eldar army. He has rolled for combat drugs already, and he got +1 strength for the witches. He's rolled on his Warlord trait, and he's got Labyrinthine Cunning, so he's re-rolling reserves. So George, do you want to talk us through your army, starting with your HQ choice?
Yep, I have a Succubus with the Arclight Blade, a Blast Pistol, Haywire Grenades, and a Webway Portal.
Okay, and she's riding with some witches, yeah?
9 witches with a Shardnet and Impaler, and a Blast Pistol.
Right, no problem. Moving across, 2 more squads of witches?
Yep, just 2 squads of 10, just like base, nothing upgrades to them.
Okay. We've then got, it looks as though 1, 2, 3 squads of 10 warriors. What's in each of the squads?
Each squad's got a Blast Pistol, a Splinter Cannon, otherwise just Splinter Rifles.
No problem. So none of the agonizers that you see are actually there?
No, they're disposable.
No problem. And Dark Lancers are proxied as Splinter Cannons?
Yes.
Cool. And they all, 3 of them are in Raiders with Splinter Racks and Night Shields?
Yes.
Lovely.
The Succubus's unit are also in a Raider with Night Shields.
Okay, and we've got a Ravager there as well.
Yes,
Dark Lancers?
Yeah, 3 Dark Lancers and Night Shields.
No problem. Are each of the Raiders got Dark Lancers or Dizzy Cannons?
They're D-Cannons.
No problem. And we've then got Scalpel Squadron from the Coven's book, yeah?
Yep. 2 Acre Fists with liquefire guns, and then 2 Ossifactors.
No problem.
Squad.
And then
On Venoms.
on 2 Venoms with dual cannons.
Yes.
Right, no problem. And then George has brought Josh's converted Vindicare. So that is not something I'm looking forward to facing. So yep, he does have 2 Razor Wings. What's on them?
Both have Night Shields, Dark Lancers, Splinter Cannons, and two Shatter Shield missiles and 2 Necrocopter missiles.
Right, no problem at all then. So we're going to roll off to see who deploys and goes first. We'll come back to you after deployment. Right, so welcome back after deployment. George has plonked the Ravager here. He's put the 2 witch squads over here, looking to hopefully get those objectives. I put an attack bite there, and we both had infiltrators. I had scouts, and George had the Vindicator. I put my sniper scouts here. There's 2 here, 3 directly underneath. And because I deployed the attack bike so far forward, right on the deployment line, 18 inches away is the Vindicator. So I did declare for George to deploy first, and I'm allowing him to go first. I'm debating whether to seize or not. He doesn't have much on the tail, but I know he's got the 2 Venoms coming in straight away with the racks. Being a Dark Eldar player myself, I know what he can do. So I wanted them to come on so I can hopefully try and smash them with the Ravens if they come on. So I am not going to seize. So we're now going to do, we'll probably do most of George's turn in one go because there's so little on the table. And we'll get back to you after that. Right, George has done his movement. He shuffled the witches over here with a 6-inch move through cover to secure objective 5, which is the card that he drew. The Ravager has moved back into them past its difficult terrain test. I think he's probably just going to try and keep it out of the way while it's night fighting, try and keep it to survive. These witches moved up here with another 6-inch move through cover. He deep struck a Venom, tried to get here straight on the attack bike, but scattered into the building. Meanwhile, this one here, direct hit straight in front of the scouts. So we're going to roll the Vindicator and these on camera. So is the Vindicator shooting at the attack bike?
Yep.
What round is he shooting?
He should fire the anti-armor one, which does 2 wounds if it does a wound.
Okay, so do you want to roll a hit?
2's to hit.
Yep. What's the strength of it?
It's sniper, so it's 4 plus the wound.
Okay.
The wound is dead. Well, I can get D2, D3, I think. Wounds.
So that would have been 3. And does that one ignore cover?
Yes.
Right. So there's first blood to George.
Oh, crap, should have fired.
Right. Are you going to shoot the Venom at the scouts? So 12 shots. Not twin link though, thank God. But still, that's only 2 that missed. 4's. Yep. There's one more there. That's not bad.
3 wounds.
3 wounds, so 3 up cover. I don't have camo cloaks, but obviously I do get stealth because of knife fighting, which I forgot to mention that we did roll for, so 1 dies. Right, so we've done a little bit of shooting over here. The liquefier gun got AP 1 and killed one of the scouts. And yeah, so George has scored secure objective 5. These witches ran up and the Vindicator killed the attack bike, so that's first blood. So the score is 2-0 to the Dark Eldar. So we'll come back to you. Right, so Blood Angels turn 1 and I draw Kingslayer, which isn't any good for us at the minute, so I'm going to be trailing behind on points for a couple of turns, it looks like. The drop pod for the Librarian Dreadnought landed in here, so he's got out. The witches can't do much against him, so I'm hoping to take them out and then be able to move back. Objective 2 is right under there as well, so hopefully I'll draw an Objective 2. The Storm Raven formation came on and they've moved almost full 36 up, looking to hopefully get rid of that Venom and the racks that will be inside. The other drop pod landed over here. I didn't want them this close to the witches as they probably wouldn't survive an assault. So they are looking to hopefully get a few shots in on that Ravager. So we'll come back to it after I've done my Psychic and Shooting phase. Right, so Blood Angel, Psychic and Shooting. The Librarian cast Shield of Sanguinius on himself, got it off 3 times and George couldn't deny. He also cast Quickening, which is D3 additional attacks and initiative, and rolled a 5. So he's got a lot more attacks if the witches decide to charge or do anything there. Hopefully I can maybe get them next turn. The rest of them have gone, excuse them being knocked over. The rest of them have been killed due to this Storm Raven's fire, and they passed their leadership test. Over here, one of the Storm Ravens with the this one here with the assault cannon and the melter did 1 glance with the multi-melter, rolled double 1, and then the assault cannon managed to take the rest of it out. The racks, however, did not get pinned. Meanwhile, this one shot the multi-melter and the last cannon down at them, killed 2 of them, and they ran 7 inches back. The scouts, the 3 remaining scouts, shot at the racks. They all hit, and not a single one of them wounded. Over here, the assault marines shot the melters at the Ravager. They both hit, but both failed to pin. I rolled a double 1. So yeah, that's the end of Blood Angel turn 1, and I don't have any points. I'm going to keep hold of Kingslayer, as I think once the succubus arrives, I don't think I'm going to have too many problems taking her out, but we shall see. So we'll now move on to Dark Eldar turn 2. Right, so welcome back to Dark Eldar turn 2. George has drew Big Game Hunter and Secure Objective 3. He can get 3 if his Warlord comes in from reserve. So George is going to roll his reserves on camera. We've got 3 poison boats first. Do you want to roll them, George?
Yep. Oh, come on.
Oh, come on, ouch. You've got your 2 Razor Wings.
They're both on.
Ouch. And then you've got the Warlord in her boat.
On.
Ouch.
Everything's on.
Yeah.
I don't even need Living on.
No, so, yeah, we'll come back after George has decided to drop his army on me. Right, Dark Eldar turn 2. The Ravager has moved through out of the cover. The Razor Wings have both came up, looking at a few shots on the Storm Ravens, I reckon. Down here, the Witches have moved through cover, moving away from the Dreadnought. The racks regroup because they are now fearless in the Coven's book, and one of the raiders with the poison boats deep struck right in front of the scouts there. Meanwhile, back here, everything has arrived. The Venom here has moved out from in the ruins there. The Warlord has landed, and it is within 3 inches of that objective. This raider and that raider both scattered, but landed where they are. Meanwhile, the Vindicator has also, the Vindicator has also moved up to here. So we'll now move on to George's shooting phase and see what damage he can do. Right, so Dark Eldar shooting phase hasn't been too good. The Ravager shot the drop pod and didn't do anything. Over here, this Razor Wing shot at this Storm Raven and didn't do anything. This Razor Wing shot both Lancers and 2 Shatterfield missiles at this pod. Got 1 pen and it come up as weapon destroyed, so it's down to 2 hull points. And both Shatterfield missiles scattered horribly over here. Meanwhile, back here, everything else is just flat outed into a better position. The Venom back there, 2 Raiders here, and this one here. They've all passed the difficult terrain tests. Down here, I lost 2 scouts to the liquefier gun. 1. They fell back. They're now on the bottom floor. Yeah, over here, the Lone Witch that can see the Assault Marines shot the Splinter Pistol but failed to wound. So yeah, I think George has 2 assaults. He's going to try and make this one. It's a 10-inch charge, though. We did measure it. And the racks are looking to charge the scouts over here. So George, 10-inch charge on the Witches. Do you want to roll them?
9.
So that 9, but you get Fleet. Are you keeping the 5?
Yeah. Nope.
No, so they're not in. I do need to resolve my Overwatches though, so we'll come back after I've done that, and the racks have charged as well. Right, so Overwatch resolved over here, and I didn't get a single hit, and obviously George did fail the charge. Meanwhile, under here, if you can see them, the racks and the scouts did nothing to each other. Nobody caused a single wound. George lost his bonus attacks and went last due to going through cover. So for cards, George actually scored Secure Objective 3. It's over here, which now puts the score at Dark Eldar 3, Blood Angels 0. So I'm going to have to make up some ground here. Right guys, Blood Angels turn 2, and I have drew Secure Objective 2, which my Warlord holds, and the drop pod. So I'm going to roll for my reserves. First of all, the Fire Raptor is not on. The last pod is not on. Combat Squad Scouts are on, and then this entire formation is on, so that's not too bad. We'll come back to you after I've done my movement. Right guys, so Blood Angel movement phase. The scouts are outflanked from this edge, looking to hopefully join them next turn to save the other scouts in there. Keep hold of their objective hopefully as well. Back here, this Storm Raven dropped to hover mode after dropping the tactical marines off there. Probably hopefully trying to pop this raider. Down here, the formation landed here. They are all within 6 inches of each other. They were initially within 12 inches of the two Storm Ravens before they moved, therefore they do get to assault this turn as per the rules for that formation. Back here, this Storm Raven dropped the tactical marines off and shuffled back, hopefully looking to try and get rid of that, or possibly the Vindicare back here. Up here, the Warlord shuffled up just to secure objective 2 there. I've measured he is exactly within 3 inches. The only other movement was that Storm Raven moved forward, looking hopefully to try and get rid of one of the Razor Wings. And round here, the Assault Marines have moved up, looking to hopefully get rid of the Ravager. So we'll now move on to the Psychic and Shooting phase, see what damage I can do. Right, welcome back after the Psychic and Shooting phase. Over here, this Storm Raven managed to take down the Razor Wing. Over here, the front melter guy was within 6 inches and managed to blow up the Ravager that was over there. Down here, the Librarian Dreadnought shot the melter gun and cast Blood Lance at the Raider, and George passed his cover saves due to being in the cover. He gets a 3+ due to the Night Shields as well. The Librarian also cast Shield of Sanguinius on himself as well. Back here, this Raider was blown up because of the all the rapid fire bolters at it. The Warriors disembarked and failed their pinning checks. Over here, this Storm Raven fired the assault cannon, the multi-melter, and 2 missiles at this Raider. Didn't do anything at all. Meanwhile, both assault squads fired their melter at it and didn't do anything either. This Storm Raven back here shot at that Raider there with the Succubus in still, 2 missiles and a multi-melter, and only caused a glance. It then shot the last cannon across at the Vindicare, looking out the window there, and George passed his save. Meanwhile, these tactical marines here made a decision whether to go for the Raider or the Vindicare, and the rapid fire bolters took 3 wounds off him, so he's down to 1 wound. I've got one more thing I need to do, which will be probably fire these bolt pistols at that, and then charge. So yeah, we'll come back to you after the assault phase. Right, so as you can see, the assault was pretty brutal. Everybody charged in. I lost a Marine here to Overwatch to a blast pistol. These guys didn't make it in. These did. So they managed to glance the Raider to death, and in this ensuing explosion, I lost 2 of these. George took a wound on the Succubus, and I think he lost 3 witches altogether, despite the 6 up t-shirt and the 6 up feel no pain. I've got consolidation moves to do now, but I scored secure objective 2, which is held over here by the Warlord, and that gets me 2 points because of my Warlord trade. So after turn 2, it's 3-2 to Dark Eldar. So yeah, we'll come back after George has drew his cards. Right, welcome back to Dark Eldar, turn 3. George has still got Big Game Hunter. He's chose to keep it, I think probably because of the amount of drop pods and flyers I've got. You got Domination, might be possible. I think he's going to have a good go at it. And Scour the Skies, kill a flyer. So I've got 3 on the board at the minute. Over here, the Witches have moved through cover, getting this far, looking to probably take out these Assault Marines and take their objective. Over here, this Raider has moved up, looking to probably take out them Tactical Marines. Oh, sorry. Down here, these have moved up, probably looking to take out these. And because I didn't destroy many of the Raiders and stuff last turn, I've kind of sandwiched myself now between the Venom and the Raider here, so he's going to get lots of shots down on me infantry, which isn't good for me. Back here, The Razor Wing has moved forward. I should point out as well that that Storm Raven is obviously in hover mode, and so is this one over here. So I think he's looking to probably take out a good portion of my tactical squad that you can see on each side there as well. Meanwhile, over here, he's moved those witches close to their objective. So I think he can probably get most objectives this turn, apart from this one. Unless he gets lucky with his Vindicator, and then can maybe get it next turn depending on what happens. We shall now move on to the shooting phase and see what damage you can do. Alright, so welcome back after the Dark Eldar shooting phase, and I am learning what it's like to be on the payload end of poison boats. Down here I lost 2 tactical marines to the splinter cannons and the liquefier gun and ossifactor from the venom. Up here the Razor Wing shot 2 Dart Lance and 2 missiles at the Storm Raven and didn't do anything. I did jink though. The Vindicator also shot at it with a turbo penetrator and caused 1 hull point, so that is jinking. Meanwhile, the rest of the field was pretty bad. Over here, I lost a single marine to a single splinter pistol from that witch. They did pass the leadership test. Down here, I lost 6 tactical marines from the raider there, rapid fire and the dizzy cannon, and all of these guys snap shooting. I've still got the sergeant and the melter left though. They also passed the leadership test as well. Just moving around over here, the witches shot all of their splinter pistols at the assault marines, got 1 wound, and I failed a single armor save. So it seems as though George is managing to kill everything that he's shooting at the minute. So I'm not enjoying this very much at all. Down there, the witches have ran and they've gotten at that objective there. We're now going to move on to the assault phase. I think George is going to make a couple of assaults, and we'll come back to you after that and see what points he can score. Right, so the assault phase. The witches charged in. I didn't score any hits with Overwatch, and as you can see, the assault marines got overran. 1 survived, failed his leadership, and obviously the initiative 6 of witches absolutely decimated him, ran him over. Over here, exactly the same thing happened. 1 guy survived, and the witches ran him over. George rolled a 6 on both of his sweep and advance moves. In the building with the racks and the 2 scouts, again, tied combat. No wounds, no wounds that were inflicted, no failed armor saves or anything like that. So, George hasn't scored any points this turn. He's chosen to discard domination. And as you can see, the force I had here is almost gone. What I was trying to do was pop the raider with the succubus in it and then charge the 3 assault squads in. And because I didn't get it off the way that I wanted, obviously I paid the price for the poison boat down there. So we now go on to Blood Angels turn 3. Right guys, so Blood Angel turn 3, and I get secure objective 6 and Valor of Angels, which is issue a challenge. So I move the Storm Raven up to here, probably look to get rid of some of the witches and then drop the tactical squad off next turn to get me that. Over here, Dreadnought moved through cover, looking to hopefully pop that raider. In the building there, you can probably see the scouts moved up looking to assault the racks and hopefully clear them out of there with the other scouts as well. Back here, I've left this tactical squad alone. I debated shooting the succubus, but I need to issue a challenge, and I don't think George has any other characters other than the Vindicator over there. Actually has the Akathist in the Venom, but we'll see what happens. I haven't decided which way I'm going to do my shooting as of yet. Storm Raven has stayed there. It's still in hover mode, looking to hopefully clear somebody out. And this drop pod here has deep struck and landed. It did scatter back into the raider, but obviously inertial guidance. And I've got 2 melters in that back squad there, looking to hopefully pop this raider here as well. So I think I'm going to look to try and take out some of these. The assault cannon can probably get a shot down on the Vindicator there as well. I'm going to have to plan which way I do my shooting here as well. So it's going to be a well thought out phase, I think. So I'm going to move on to sight phase. I'll probably cast Blood Lance on that, and then probably the blessing to get D3 and extra attacks as well, because I'm probably going to charge it with a Dreadnought. So yeah, we'll move on to the sighting and shooting phase. Right guys, so we're back after the Blood Angel shooting phase of turn 3. Storm Raven unloaded the heavy bolt and the assault cannons down on there. George went to ground, so he did get a couple of saves. Obviously the assault cannon didn't grant him feel no pain due to being strength 6, toughness 3. He passed his leadership test though, despite losing 3 models. Over here, the Dreadnought got off quickening and rolled a 3, so he gets +2 attacks and initiative on the charge. He got Shield of Sanguinius off and he cast Blood Lance, but George managed to jink that. Over here, I thinned out this squad quite a lot. So these shot and the Storm Raven unloaded the assault cannon, the multi-melter and 1 missile. I managed to take out most of this squad. Underneath, the tactical squad that's hiding in the ruins there shot at the raider, just caused it to jink. I was hoping to maybe get rid of it, but never mind. Back here, the assault squad only managed to do 1 pen on the raider despite that jinking as well. So that is now snap shooting. Down here, I chose with a tactical squad to go for the venom. Rapid fire bolters plus the melter managed to actually wreck it. So the racks are out. They're fearless as part of the Coven's book. So yeah, the Storm Raven shot its last missile over at the Vindicare, and George passed his 3-up cover. So now we're going to move on to assaults. I've got a couple to do. The scouts are probably going to charge in. These and the Dreadnought. So yeah, we'll come back after the assault phase. Right, so welcome back to the assault phase. The Dreadnought rolled a double 1 to get into assault with the Raider. Not good at all. The scouts under there, the 2 with the sniper rifles are now dead. However, I did kill 2 racks back, so there is 1 left. He is fearless, so that is again drawn combat over there. Meanwhile, over here, the sergeant challenged the succubus and he died. The succubus only actually inflicted 1 wound. In relation to the others, the remaining witch killed the melter gun. The marine there hit back, got 1 wound, and George passed his save. He rolled his leadership and rolled a double 1, so he's actually managed to hold them up. Hopefully I can get somebody else there to take them out next turn. Meanwhile, actually that was it for assault phase. So I scored secure, Valor of Angels, which now puts the score at 3-all. George has just drawn his cards. He has Big Game Hunter. In fact, I'll come round. Round here, he has Big Game Hunter and Scour the Sky still. Secure objective 6 and 5. There's 6. And there's 5. So George is going to do his movement. He hasn't got too much left on the board actually, so we're going to see what he does, and then he's got his shooting as well. So we'll now move on to Dark Eldar turn 4, where the score is currently 3-3. Right, so George has moved the witches up a little bit here just to make sure that they're all within 3 inches of objective 5. The witches over there went to ground, so obviously they can't move. The raiders shoveled over to here, out of the way of the Librarian Dreadnought. Meanwhile, back here, those warriors have moved out, probably looking to take these out. Should point out as well, I actually immobilized that raider last turn as well when I penned it. The only other movement George did was this here, which was to get his liquefier gun on the tactical marine. So we'll now move on to the shooting phase and see what damage George can do. I'm just going to use the liquefier gun and let's see what AP it is. 5. Oh, never mind. Sometimes when you get AP 1 or 2, lethal. So how many is that?
5 under there.
Yep, that's 5. So you're needing 5s to wound. So
Winning on 5s.
Oh.
2 wounds.
And he kills 1. That's the sergeant.
Look at sir.
You know what? I'm not going to because he's only got a bolt pistol, so no.
Okay. Also going to fire the
Ossifactor.
Please
Hit Fleshbane AP2, killing on 2s. Ouch. D6 additional attacks. So 3, that's 3 strength 4 because of the Space Marines toughness 4.
There's 3 wounds.
Ouch. So 3 ups.
And see.
1.
Duel.
1 die. So closest is him. Yep. Right.
Or does he take 2 rolls off? So
All
another
2.
one does.
So just a bit more of the shooting phase. The warriors over there actually rapid fired at these 5 assault marines, only caused 5 wounds, and they tanked every single wound. Just to show you the devastating power of a raider with splinter racks and warriors with a splinter cannon inside of it, rapid firing at marines. George is going to roll the dice here. So 3s to hit, and these are all twin linkers of splinter racks. That's a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4 misses.
So do you want to roll them here?
1 miss.
Ouch. So he then needs 4s to wound with poison. That's quite a lot.
That many saves.
That many saves on 5 marines. Ouch.
If we fail morale test and run away. Kansas.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Easy as that. So there's them gone. Right, I don't know if he's got any other shooting to do, but we'll come back to you shortly. Right, guys, so the rest of the shooting phase, the Vindicare shot over here at the Dreadnought. Thankfully, I cast the Shield of Sanguinius, giving me a 5-up invuln. However, George rolled a 1 to hit the first time and a 1 to hit this, with the reroll because of the Vindicare's ballistic skill, so he missed totally. The combats, actually no, the rest of the shooting phase, this Razorwing had 1 shot at the drop pod and exploded it. It didn't damage the raider, however. Underneath there, the scouts finally killed the last rack, and they consolidated just back out of the combat. Over here, obviously the succubus cut down the last assault marine there as well. And down here, the racks charged in and they lost 2 to Overwatch. And they also, the marines lost combat. They lost 1, but they passed the leadership test. Actually, they should have all piled in. So yeah, that's it for all of the assaults and everything as well. So, George, did you score any points? Yes, he has. Objective 5, Objective 6, and Big Game Hunter for killing the drop pods. That gives him 3 points. That puts him on 6 points to 3. And he's discarding Scour the Sky. So that's 6-3 to Dark Eldar coming off the first half of turn 4. Moving on to my turn 4, I'll draw my cards now. Big Game Hunter, kill a vehicle, and secure Objective 3. I should note as well, my Fire Raptor finally comes on. It seems every game I use it, it doesn't turn up till turn 4. So, kill a vehicle. He's got 2 Raiders and a Razorwing I can go for. Objective 3. Let's have a look at that. We'll come back to you after I've done my movement. Right, so the movement phase of Blood Angels. The Storm Raven dropped off the tactical squad, and they're looking ready to take those out. I don't want to kill them all though, because I need to get into assault, I think. Yes, I have Objective 6, so I don't want to kill them all. Yeah. Meanwhile, over here, the Storm Raven went up into flying mode, looking to hopefully take out the Razorwing or possibly the Vindicare. That one is still in hover mode, hopefully going to take out the Succubus and everything here. Down here, the Warlord, I moved up and the tactical squad ran back to get me Objective 3. I want to try and get the Warlord within 3 inches so I can get that extra victory point. The Fire Raptor's come on. He's looking to get a shot down on that Raider, and then they can fire the auto cannons either backwards at the Raider back there or the Razorwing. And this Storm Raven came back on as well. Yeah, he's going to look to hopefully get a couple of shots on the Razorwing as well. So I'm hoping that the only thing left after this turn is going to be a couple of warriors over here. Yeah, so I'll move on to the sight and shooting phase and we'll come back after that. Right, so welcome back to the shooting phase. Over here, the Tactical Marines fired bow pistols and took out most of the Witch squad, and they passed their leadership. So I'm looking to assault and get them off their objective so I can claim it. Meanwhile, the rest of my shooting has been awful. Over here, the scouts actually managed to glance at the raider, but didn't do anything. I forgot to film actually last turn they moved out of there. Over here, Bloodlance, I didn't get off, and I didn't even get Quickening off either. So the Librarian shot the melter gun at the Succubus, passed cover save, missed actually. The Storm Raven there fired everything, and he passed all of his cover saves. Meanwhile, this is the unkillable Razor Wing. The guys down here shot up. This Storm Raven shot the last cannon, the multi-melter, and 2 missiles at it. This one shot 2 missiles, heavy bolter, and assault cannons at it. And the Fire Raptor shot the auto cannons at it. And I now hate 3-up Jinx. Funnily enough, they never seem to do anything for me, but I know how frustrating it is for other people now. Down there though, the whole point taken off the Raider was due to the Avenger Bow Cannon. Here, unfortunately, this auto cannon doesn't have line of sight on anything. So that was it for the shooting. Absolutely abysmal. So we've got a couple of assaults to work out. We'll resolve this one here, and I don't know whether to make the scouts charge that, and obviously they need to go over there as well. So we'll come back to you after the assault phase. Right, so it's one of them days. George has just drew some amazing cards. Assassinate, kill a character, no prisoners, and secure objective 3. Over here, yeah, the Succubus is going to charge. She's going to wipe out the squad with the Sergeant, and she's going to claim objective 3. So she's going to get at least 3 victory points straight away. That will give him hold 1. He holds the other one. And the Witches there hold another, which will give him D3 for Ascendancy. So George is getting at least 4 points this turn. Yeah, I seriously needed to do some damage last turn. I think that might have cost me the game, but we shall see what happens. I'm praying for some bad rolls on his part, some good rolls on my part. So we'll come back to you after George has done his movement. Right, so over here, George has moved the Warriors up, out of line of sight of the Tactical Marines. So I think he's looking to take those couple of scouts out there. Meanwhile, down here, the Succubus is now underneath. Yeah, so she's out of the way. The Warriors here moved up, looking to probably take out some of these Tactical Marines. These Warriors disembarked, and probably going to look to join this assault to take these out here as well. So that's all George has done for his movement. Obviously the Razor Wing's gone off the board. The Vindicator's moved across as well to get a shot in on this Storm Raven. So we'll now move on to the shooting phase. Right, so the shooting's been very quick. As you can see, the Warriors took down the scouts without any problems at all with them rapid firing. Meanwhile over here, these 2 groups of Warriors did not shoot. They're looking to join the assaults respectively. The Succubus ran with the Witch and is now obviously there. And yeah, so another point as well. The Vindicator shot up at the Flying Storm Raven and didn't hit. So we'll now move on to assaults. I think George is going to charge these 2 Warrior squads into here. So we'll see what happens. Right, so the assault phase. These Warriors made it in and took out 2 Marines. The Marines in turn only killed 1 of them. But they passed the leadership test. Over here, the Racks did nothing and the Marines did nothing. Again, it was tight combat. And these Warriors, despite only needing a 6-inch charge and re-rolling because of fleet, didn't make it into combat at all. So, that was everything. George scored an Assassinate for killing the Scout Sergeant and no prisoners for killing them as well. He's kept hold of Ascendancy and Secure Objective 3 and discarded Secure Objective 2. So at the end of Dark Eldar turn 5, that is now 8-6. So I need at least 3 points to be able to win. Right, so Blood Angel turn 5, I score Ascendancy, Secure Objective 1, Assassinate, and Kingslayer. Aerial Assault is a Blood Angel one. I need to kill something with a flyer. So, I'm having a look on about, and I think if I can kill the Succubus, if I can destroy something with one of the flyers, and then drop that to hover mode, which I've actually just done, I haven't done the rest of my movement, he can hold that one, that gets me 1. This drop pod holds 2. The Tactical Marines over there hold 3, so that'll get me Ascendancy. I'm hoping I can score all 5 of these, so we'll come back to it after I've done the movement. Right, so movement phase. All the Assault Marines have moved up here, looking to get some shots down on what warriors they can. They're still within 3 inches of the objective though. I then thought long and hard about where to position everything, and every flyer's dropped to hover mode. So this is looking to get a shot on some of the warriors up there. Down here, this one is in hover mode holding objective 1. Down here as well, the other 2 have moved up, and I'm looking to try and take this out. I've also got the auto cannon from here. I can either shoot at the Vindicare, the warriors, or the raider. I just need to take 1 squad of them out with the 4 flyers. So yeah, I've now got my psychic phase. I'm looking to be able to charge the dreadnought through there and hopefully take out the Succubus. So it's probably going to be a quick turn. We'll come back after the shoot and see if I can actually do some damage and get some points and get ahead of the game. Guys, so over here, the tactical squad, moving from this side, moving round, all shot. Took out a good few of the warriors. The drop pod managed to take out 1 or 2 as well. The rest of the firing came from the Avenger ball cannon. Took the rest of them out. He didn't get his feel no pains with it being strength 6. Down here, the auto cannons shot at the Vindicare and took them out. Meanwhile, down here, both the Storm Ravens unloaded everything they had at the Warrior Squad, and the last cannon and the remaining 2 missiles from this black Storm Raven took out the rest of them. The multi-melter power of the Machine Spirit down at the Raider. It only glanced, rolled a double 1, and George gets a 6-up stealth because of the Night Shields, and he passed it, so that didn't go down, unfortunately. The melter gun from the Librarian Dreadnought shot at the Witch straight in front of him on the other side of the wall and didn't wound. So the only thing left to do in this turn is the assault. I'm praying to God that the Librarian Dreadnought makes it in. It needs a 3. In fact, you know what, George? I'm going to charge the Dreadnought now on camera, because if I roll a 3, I'm going to cry. So are you overwatching? Blast pistol.
Haywire.
Haywire even. Blast pistol. Oh no.
Force, is it?
Front armor 13. What's the strength of it?
8.
That's a pen. So yeah. I'm a total idiot, and totally forgot that the Fury also has armor 13, but it's the blast pistol, because I don't normally take them with me, Dark Eldar. It's strength 8, so the 4 that George rolled to pen is actually a glance, so it's not immobilized. Now all I've got to do is not roll a 3. Thank you. So we'll now come back after the rest of the assault phase. Right, so the assault phase, the Librarian hit and wounded the Succubus twice, and she passed a 4+ in run. So that was a bit annoying, and as you can see, the Warriors took out the remaining 2 Tactical Marines. They only inflicted 3 wounds, and I failed 2 saves. So they're gone. Down here, the tied combat again between the Racks and the Tactical Marines. So I scored Aerial Assault as I killed 2 units with flyers. I score Secure Objective 1, and I score Ascendancy. So D3 for Ascendancy, 2 points. That now puts the score at... Right, so I've just added the scores up, and as it stands, Blood Angels are 10 points to Dark Eldar's 8. Neither of us have Slay the Warlord, and I think we both have Linebreaker at the moment as well. So at the minute it stands 10 to 8. George, you want to roll a dice to see if the game continues? It continues. So we'll see what cards George draws. George has drawn some pretty awesome cards. He's still got Ascendancy. He does hold 2. He may be able... In fact, no, I don't think he can get a third, but we'll see. Secure objective 6 is there, so I don't think he'll get that one. He does have behind enemy lines, and the immobilized raider is actually behind enemy lines, so he's going to get that one. He's got secure objective 3 twice, which the warriors are now sat on, and secure objective 5, which the witches there are on. So we'll probably do the entire turn. There's not much left on either side anyway, so we'll do the entire turn and come back and see what points he scores. Right, so we've just worked out George isn't going to move those witches at all, and he's not going to move them at all either, because he needs those points. So he's got nothing else to shoot at. The raider could shoot, but it can't damage anything that's over here. So we're going to go straight to the combat. Do you want to resolve the one with the racks and the marines first? So you've got 5 attacks. Just roll them there. 4s. 1, 2 hit, 2 force to wound. That's 1 wound. 3 up. Fine. I'll get 4 attacks. That's 2 hits. Force to wound. No wounds. So, tied combat yet again. Do you want to move on to the succubus?
Yep.
I presume she's using a haywire grenade.
Yep.
Hits.
Glance.
That's a glance. So I'm now down to 1 hull point. Meanwhile, the dreadnought gets 3 attacks back, hitting on 4s. Wow. Then I wound on 2s. So George has 1 invuln save to make, otherwise he's dead. Typical. I need to kill her. So George secures objective 5. He secures objective 3 twice. And he has behind enemy lines. So George scores 4 points. That puts the score at 12-12, I believe. 12-10 to Dark Eldar. So we'll come back after Blood Angel's turn. Right, so I've done most of my turn. As you can see, I've just moved all the Storm Ravens around to optimise the firepower. I've shot down with this one with the heavy bolt and the assault cannons. I took out most of the witches there. The Avenger bolt cannon took out the rest of them. Over here, the auto cannon managed to take out 1 hull point off the raider, and the last cannon and multi-melt from this managed to kill the raider itself. That one managed to kill 4 of the warriors, so you actually need to take a lead. No, you don't, the fearless. Forgot about that. Yeah, so that would score me overwhelming firepower and no prisoners for 1 point apiece. That now puts it at 12-12, and I've got supremacy because the tactical marines hold 1, the drop pod holds another, and the fire raptor dropped into hover mode to hold the one back here. So that means that we are basically down to, do I survive? In the psychic phase, I cast a sanguinary, Shield of Sanguinius, sorry, on myself, and I didn't get it off with 3 dice. And I cast Quickening, and I only gain 1 extra attack and initiative. So George's succubus gets to go first, and I use the haywire grenade.
Yep.
Typical last hull point as well. Roll a hit. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I get 2 attacks base, 1 for 2 close combat weapons, specialist weapons, and then 1 for my what's it called? Quickening. So force to hit. Oh, come on. 2s to wound. That's a 2, so 2 invulns, come on. Yes! Finally, so that gets me Assassinate, Kingslayer, and Decapitating Strike. So I'm gonna add the points up now and we'll come back to you after that. In the absolute excitement there and tension of the moment, we've got to resolve this. We've now just done it, and as you can see, the tactical marines took out 1 of the racks. However, they are fearless. Meanwhile, back here, Alor the librarian killed the succubus in the challenge still. Yeah, George passed 1 of them invulns that he rolled, so the witch is actually still alive and she can't do anything at all. So the librarian's actually tied in combat there. We've rolled for the points, so I score Assassinate and Decapitating Strike, which is for 2 points. Kingslayer, I rolled a 3, so that gets me 2 points. Supremacy, I rolled a 1, which gets me 1 more point. I got Overwhelming Firepower and no prisoners. So, actually, we'll need to double check that. Yeah, we've just double checked, and no prisoners. I do score D3 because I actually killed the succubus, and she's purchased separately to the squad that she's attached with. So that gets me another D3, which is, that's a 6, so that's 3. So that just got me 11 points that turn. So at the end of turn 6, it's 21 to 12. So we'll roll to see if the game continues. Oh no, it continues on to turn 7. Right, so we've just had a look around the board, and all George has left actually is the 2 racks here and the warriors there and a single witch. So he's agreed. Obviously there's no point in continuing as nobody can really do anything. So yeah, that is a Blood Angels victory. Really stretched me out there as well. A lot of bad shooting and a lot of bad combat rolls for lots of them. The warriors were just absolute mincemeters in the raiders, and 3-up Jink being on the other side of it, it hurts. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and if you like the channel, please like, subscribe, share, and comment away, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Yep, thanks very much.